Hey, what's up guys? Unreplay 5656 here, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Now, we just started the second act after so many different parts to the first act. We finally get back into the second one. So what's in store for us? Who knows? I honestly don't know, as long as we end up romancing, what was it? Hanako. Hanako, that's her name, right? Right, Hanako? Hanako? Yes, yes, yes. Hanako? Yes? Okay, yeah. As long as we romance her, because I like her. She's cool. Alright, so anyways, let's load this up. Wow, Wow. It's been a while. Holy shit. It really has been a while. Huh. Look at that. Anyways, let's get back into it. So, my alarm's beeping shatters the early morning quiet, and I find myself wondering where to find the motivation to rise. Well, your dick doesn't, because I'm pretty sure you have a hard-on right now. Class is still quite far off, but I agreed to run with Emmy in the mornings. Really, I'm not that interested in running as a hobby, or even as a possible life-lengthening exercise. However, I feel obligated to follow through on my promise to Emmy yesterday, which is why I find myself throwing on some running shorts and a light t-shirt. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Hang on. And there we go. I keep forgetting to set my timer so that before I record. Sorry. Anyways, the cool morning air caresses my face as the morning sunshine causes the dew on the grass to sparkle, nearly blinding me at first. As I make my way down to the track, an ugly thought strikes me. What if this is some sort of joke that Emmy plays on me? Would that surprise me, really? Hell, I'd probably do it to the new guy, too. At the very least, I'm sure Emmy and Rin made a bet on whether or not it'd actually show up. I feel a sense of trepidation as the track comes into view. You're late! It would seem that Emmy is already there. What a relief. Not according to my watch. We both are early, in fact. Damn, you got me there! Emmy is sitting on the bleachers, decked out in her running gear, waiting somewhat patiently for me. I'm glad you're actually here. I was afraid that this was a joke or something. Nah, I'd never make someone get up early for nothing. Plus, Rin owes me 500 yen now. She didn't think you would actually show up. I knew it! Nice to know Emmy was on my side at least. Emmy hops off the bleachers and begins stretching out. She's remarkably lithe, almost like a dancer. I set out to stretch as well, but then I realized that I don't exactly remember how to stretch properly. It's been ages since I stretched for anything, if you don't count my one stint at running last week. And even then, I don't think I actually stretched beforehand. The specter of my long hospital stay rises up again. I can't say I was all that active before the hospital stay though, so maybe I'm just being morose. Emmy giggles as she watches me stretch out. No, Hisao, you've got to hold it for longer than that. I'm trying, it kind of hurts a little. Ha, that's because you're out of shape. You've got to get some flexibility in you like this. Where did she, whoa! Whoa, okay, whoa, what's going on here? To demonstrate, Emmy reaches down and puts her head through her legs. God bless you, Emmy. I see, is that the sort of thing I should strive for? Of course, flexibility is important for any runner. You'll be able to go faster the more you stretch out. Okay. That makes no sense to me, but Emmy seems to believe it's true. With Emmy's help, I managed to stretch myself out properly. I can't help but notice that when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable. Not bad, Hisao. Come on, we better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? A mile? Ew, God. At least start with like a quarter of a mile, just one lap. Anyways, that's 4 laps around the track, got it? That sounds fine to me. This shouldn't be too hard, right? A hazy memory of running a mile for gym class surfaces in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Emmy sets a pretty good pace, and I fall in behind her. Try to keep up, okay, Hisao? Roger. We round the first curve without incident, though I can already feel my heart rate increasing slightly. By the second curve, I've started to breathe through my mouth. Emmy doesn't seem to be breaking a sweat. As if to punctuate her superiority, she turns around and starts running backwards. Are you doing okay, Hisao? Never better. Oh, really? Maybe I should speed up then, huh? Oh, no. Wouldn't want you to overexert yourself. My heavy panting and wheezing makes the statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emmy simply smiles and turns around again. You're the boss, Hisao. We'll stay at this pace. I get the feeling that I'm being mocked. If I weren't in such terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. By the third lap, my breath is coming in ragged gasps. I'm also awash in my own sweat. Gross. We round the curve to start our fourth lap, and Emmy looks back at me with a grin. Here we go! She takes off at blinding speed while I stubbornly stick to my slower pace. By the time I get to the first turn, she's already rounding the second. As I struggle across the back stretch, Emmy continues running and catches up to me. Come on, Hisao, you can do it! Fuck you. I'd answer her, but I'm too focused on getting air into my lungs, ignoring the burning in my leg muscles. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here! But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emmy keeps pace with me as I round the second turn and cross the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gotten her sweating. It's actually caused her shirt to turn slightly translucent. It seems she wears a black sports bra. I feel a vague stab of guilt for being the sort of guy who stares at a girl's chest, but my legs and chest are burning so badly I can't bring myself to care that much. Not bad for a first effort, Hisao. Kind of you to say. Emmy seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavily than she was before we started running. It must have been the sprint that did it. Hey, I've got a few sprints in. You should walk around the track to cool down. Then we can stretch out, and we'll be done, okay? Sounds great. My legs are on fire, and my breathing is still heavy, but surprisingly my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose. You should put your hands behind your head. It makes it easier to catch your breath. Surprisingly, she's right. I begin to stroll around the track, happy to feel my breath coming back to me. There is a blur as Emmy sprints by me. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics. That is interesting. The really interesting thing is the way her face changes. I can only catch glimpses of it as she runs by, but her eyes seem to come alive with a sort of fierce joy. It's as if there's nothing else in the world but her and the track. By the time I've gotten to the final stretch, Emmy seems to have finished her sprinting. She's breathing heavily now, but she's wearing a satisfied grin on her face. She waves to me cheerily as I near her. Feeling better, right? Actually, yeah. Do you want to take another lap around with me? I've got to cool down too, you know. Part of me would rather sit down and not move, but something tells me that would be a bad idea. Besides, if I sit down, there may be no getting back up again. Sure, why not? Emmy's got her hands behind her head now as well, which makes her seem very relaxed. The positioning of her arms also pulls her shirt upwards ever so slightly so that I can see a small strip of her belly. I do my best to act the gentleman and not look, but the contrast of her skin against her red running shorts is rather arresting. So, how do you feel, Hisao? Surprisingly good, actually. I'm sore and tired, but surprisingly good. As soon as I say it, I realize that it's true. Sure, part of me wants to lay down and die, but I feel like I've accomplished something. It's almost like a glow throughout my body that persists despite the soreness. Yeah, that's the runner's high. Runner's high? Yeah, it has something to do with adrenaline? Emmy thinks for a moment as we walk, trying to remember. Then she shrugs and grins at me. I don't actually remember. It's a good feeling though, isn't it? Better than sex, right? I open my mouth to respond shortly before processing what she just said. Emmy watches my face for a few moments before bursting into laughter. Hang on, I gotta check something. Right, am I still good? Okay, good. Alright, cool. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You're just too easy. In what sense of the word? What, I can't use my spacebar anymore? I was able to use it before. Come on, let me spacebar. Allow me to spacebar, damn you. Let me spacebar. Why can't I spacebar? Alright, fuck it. Why did I agree to run with you again? Emmy laughs harder. She takes a hold of my forearm and tilts it, allowing her to get a better view of my watch. Her face changes the moment she sees the time. Oh no, we'd better get a move on, Hisao. Seriously, sex? Really? She reminds me of me. Why? She immediately goes for sex. And I'm mad that I can't fucking spacebar anymore. Oh, but I can do that? I can do that, but I can't spacebar? I can do that, but I can't spacebar. Are you kidding me? Oh, I can spacebar now. Okay. Class is in an hour, and I need a shower. I should probably do that as well. I need to see the nurse, too. Maybe he'll write me a note for being late. Why do you need to see the nurse? Emmy points to her prosthetics as if that would explain everything. It's important to check for irritation. You know, for sweat or friction or anything. Normally, I only go after practice, but if we're going to be doing these morning runs, then I guess I'll see him twice a day. Wait, so Emmy has only started doing these runs since I showed up? If it's more convenient for you to run with me at a later time... Don't be silly! I've been meaning to start running in the morning for a while now. But if I didn't have a partner to run with, I'd be less likely to keep up a routine. It's always harder to blow off a commitment if you're going to let someone else down, you know? So you'll be my running partner for the mornings. We both need the exercise, so it all works out, don't you think? Yeah, perfect. Did it have to be me, though? Well, I guess I can't complain too much. Emmy's pretty fun to hang around with. And she's right, I do need the exercise, doctor's orders even. Emmy waves a quick goodbye to me. Right, I'm off. Come have lunch with us, okay? What? Lunch, you know, the meal in the middle of the day. Come have it with us. Where? The rooftop. Rin likes it up there. When? Lunchtime. When else? That was a silly question. Yeah, but I sort of felt the need to ask all three for completeness' sake. Emmy laughs and grins. I don't think I've ever seen a girl smile so much before. Not bad, Hisao. See ya! With that, she takes off like a shot for the school building. I guess she's going to see the nurse first. Oh, please don't tell me there's going to be more Kenji dick over here. I hurry back to my room and hop in the shower, only to find that the water takes a while to heat up. Then the shock of the cold water nearly kills me. I manage to warm the water a bit and spend some quality time feeling my muscles loosen. My heart, surprisingly, feels the least bothered by the run. I suppose that's a good thing, even if it does make me feel like a bit of a wuss. I mean, at least I'd have an excuse beyond I'm out of shape if my heart were bothering me. Guess I'll have to keep this running thing up, otherwise I'm sure Emmy won't let me hear the end of it. It's only after I get out and dry myself off that I realize that I've only 10 minutes left to put my clothes on and get to class. Crap. The hands on the clock finally set me free from the tedium of yet another fun-filled class. Getting up from my seat proves to be more of a problem than I anticipated. My legs are killing me from the morning's run. Maybe doing these with Emmy isn't such a hot idea after all. Still, the run's giving me a hell of an appetite. I'm halfway down the hallway to the cafeteria when I remember that I've got my lunch with me. My parents saw fit to provide me with some prepackaged stuff when I moved in, and a good thing too. The hallway is packed with students headed for the cafeteria. Going back is like swimming upstream, but I've got an appointment to keep on the rooftop. It takes me a while to find the staircase leading up to the rooftop, but I'm willing to bet that Emmy and Rin aren't up there by now anyway. In fact, I think I saw Emmy among the bodies in the hallway, headed for the cafeteria. I step out of the door to the rooftop and take a deep breath. The fresh air blowing against my face and body almost makes my legs hurt less. Maybe if I'm upside down. Part of me wants to be surprised that Rin's up here already. What's that going to accomplish? Things in the clouds. Couldn't you just look at them right side up? Rin rolls her eyes in something approaching exasperation. Then I wouldn't get a new perspective. Is upside down really a new perspective? Ha ha ha! That caught her off guard. Rin looks pensive. You may have a point. Maybe sideways. Why are all these girls going down on me? Stop going down on me. As Rin lays down on the bench to look up at the sky, I give up. Fortunately, Emmy chooses that moment to burst through the door carrying 2 bags. She nearly takes the door off the hinges. Sorry if it took me so long. There were a ton of people in line. She drops the first bag in front of Rin and takes a seat on the bench next to her. You buy Rin's lunch for her? Sometimes, yeah. I'd have Rin buy my lunch for me in return, but I'm not sure how she'd carry it. Wow. Plus, I'd never buy her lunch. If Rin's offended by Emmy's comment, she doesn't show it. Emmy sniffs. How ungrateful of you. I'm not sure whether the two are joking with one another or if I'm witnessing the beginnings of a cat fight. The 2 girls stare at one another for a few tense moments before breaking into smiles. Hey, Emmy, do you think being upside down is a new perspective on things? Didn't I already have this conversation? Emmy looks thoughtful, apparently giving the question some thought. After a deep and profound pause, she speaks. I have no idea. Well, at least she's as lost as I am. Hey, Hisao, you're coming to the track meet, right? The question comes out of the blue and catches me off guard. I don't know yet? Honestly, Hisao, after I went through all the trouble of letting you run with me in the morning, you won't even show up at my track meet? Wasn't she the one that asked me to run with her? Actually, she didn't even give me a choice in the matter. Wait, no, I didn't say that. She beams at me as if I'd agreed to give her $1 million. So you will come after all. That's great. I didn't say that either. I'll be going too, so I'll make sure he comes, Emmy. Good idea, Rin. Maybe we can get some food or something after the meet's over? I feel like I've just been conned, but not by these two. More like by some outside force pushing me irrevocably toward my destiny. Or maybe I shouldn't read books that feature conspiracy theories so heavily. Otherwise, I might wind up sounding like Kenji. Still, I suppose that I've got to show up now. I don't think that I could stand against both of them being disappointed. I'd never hear the end of it. When is it again? Next week, silly! I just told you a few days ago. No, you didn't. I forgot? Well, you won't forget to come, though, will you? Of course I won't. I'll even make a note on a calendar or something. Rin nods sagely. That's probably a good idea, you know, unless time changes its course. We can do that? Rin gives a non-committal shrug. It hasn't yet, but you never know. This time it's Emmy who gives a shrug. I love drinking from this inconspicuous cup. From this cup that has no origin whatsoever. It has definitely no origin. I suppose it can't be helped if it happens. Not unless you're a time traveler or something. You don't actually think that could happen, do you? I don't think we do. Do we? Rin shrugs again. That seems to be her default response to everything. I suppose not, but I reserve the right to change my opinion at a moment's notice. For Rin, this statement makes a disturbing amount of sense. The fact that I realize this now frightens me a bit. I wonder if Emmy gets this feeling all the time. If she does, she's not showing it, though. Emmy merely nods. How much time do I have left? Oh, wow, a lot of time. Okay, cool. That's cool. As expected. What's that supposed to mean? This time it's Emmy who shrugs. It's like she's using Rin's own weapons against her. Your response is the sort of thing I'd expect from you, that's all. Am I really that predictable? Emmy's smile seems to border on gloating. Nah, it's just that your unpredictability is pretty predictable. Well, that's alright then. I don't get the chance to see whether Rin's being serious or not as the bell rings. I didn't notice the lunch period was slipping by at all. Hanging out with these two was far too interesting. Emmy jumps up, a look of panic on her face. Oh no, I needed to stop by my room to pick up my notebook for the next class. Don't you wish you had a time machine now? Rin seems rather smug as she delivers this line. Like she just won an argument. Emmy ignores Rin's comment. Sorry, Hisao, but could you make sure our garbage gets thrown away? I usually can clean up myself, but I've got to run. Sure, no problem. Emmy darts away with an urgency I'm starting to expect from her. I don't bother asking Rin why she couldn't help. She already seems to be preoccupied with something else entirely. What the fuck did... Sorry, hit spacebar too quickly. Blah, 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 blah. Hang on. She seems to be preoccupied with something else entirely as she wanders off. She's probably used to Emmy taking care of cleanup, and for some reason, I doubt Emmy's ever raised the issue with her. Cleaning up from lunch doesn't take long, so I have plenty of time to toss our garbage and get to class. Misha greets me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Didn't see you in the cafeteria, Hee-chan. Yeah, I decided it was too crowded there. Misha's grin gets even wider. Oh, really? Are you sure you weren't participating in the Are you sure you weren't participating in an illicit rendezvous? Well, what are you talking about? You were on the roof, you were on the roof, right? With both Rin and Emmy, no less. You Casanova, you! We just had lunch. That's all. Misha bursts into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates. You're so adorable when you blush like that, Hee-chan. She gives me a conspiratorial wink. There we go. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. There's no secret! Oh. Misha seems disappointed and then brightens up again. Time will tell! I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but blessedly our teacher comes in and the class starts. Another day of class has finally dragged itself to a close. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand up for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. Again, that painting over there. I fucking hate it. I head down the hallway and make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking at a particularly unsavory carcass. I know this is what it eats, but it's not sure that it shouldn't be ordering takeout instead. Okay. I don't think I can take this, but it's important to get my work done. Now, let's see. What was I supposed to be looking over again? I know it's a losing battle, but I fight it anyway. Halfway through my math homework, I put my pencil down. Sorry, gotta stretch. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, my options for distractions are rather slim. I am not in the mood to read right now. Kenji is unusually out of his room at the moment. If I go to the student council room, I'll just end up doing work for those two. And heaven only knows where everyone else is except for... Well, I suppose that's an option. I grab my shoes and head for the track. Emmy's probably down there. Track practice is just ending as I arrive at the track. The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it really gotten that late already? What are you doing down here, Hisao? Come to spy on me, have you? I give a shrug. To be honest, I'm not sure why I'm down here. I didn't have anything better to do. I figure that's about right. At the moment, Emmy's the only person I can think of who I could visit. So I'm your last resort, am I? Nobody cool around, so I'll just go see Emmy. Is that what you thought? She actually looks angry. A chance for some teasing of my own presents itself. Actually, yeah, I guess you are. Emmy pouts, widening her eyes to give the maximum amount of puppy dog resemblance. Kidding! I was kidding! So you are down here to stalk me. Wait, what? That's not what I meant! Why would I stalk you anyway? It's not like you require stalking. If you're not asleep or in class, you're down here, right? Emmy laughs at this comment. Well, you're not wrong, I suppose, but you forgot about eating. I do that too, you know. I'd nod, conceding the point. Plus, I hang out with Rin sometimes too, so really I might take some effort to stalk. What do you two do together anyway? You don't seem to have a lot in common. She puts her hands on her hips and assumes a superior air. That's what you think. I've got all sorts of hidden hobbies, you know. Oh, really? Like what? Emmy puts her head to one side, as if she's trying to remember what it is she does in her free time. Well, Rin and I go out shopping sometimes. Wait. There's an area outside of this school? Oh my god, I thought this was like prison or something. I was honestly not under the impression that there was another area besides the school. Like, seriously, all we ever see is just within the school. Like, this guy has never gone out anywhere else besides the school. And this has been, like, I've had like 15 episodes already of this. We haven't gone outside once. Once anywhere outside of the school. Besides when we were in the hospital. But anyways. Ah, I love that. I guess that makes sense. Emmy's a girl after all, but Rin? Rin comes with you? We usually swing by the art supply store. Ah, that makes sense. Plus, she likes this music store that sells all kinds of weird sounding stuff. She says it helps focus her. That makes a little more sense. Something tells me that Rin likes dubstep. I don't know why. Anyways, I see. Any other hidden hobbies? Emmy wags a finger at me. Now, why would I go and reveal all my dark secrets to you? We hardly know one another. Somehow I think that's all Emmy has in the way of hobbies. Still, I don't think my question's been answered. Even if you do have a few hobbies, I still don't see why you hang out with Rin so much. I mean, she's kind of weird, isn't she? This comment causes Emmy to laugh loudly. That's the understatement of the year. So why? I mean, you're a lot better at conversation and stuff, so I figured you'd hang out with a lot more people, but I think I've only ever seen you with Rin. Emmy seems unusually defensive. Hey, I hang out with plenty of people that aren't Rin. You just don't see me doing it because I'm not in your class. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you hang out with Rin. I'm not even sure why I want to know this. I guess it's just because lunch was so strange. Emmy shrugs, looking for a moment very Rin-ish. It's because we have similar outlooks. If you were to ask me the least likely answer to my question, that would be it. What do you mean? It's like... Okay, Rin paints and stuff, right? Yes. I'm not sure where this is going. Well, I run. And? That's why we're similar. Answer of the year! Anyways. You lost me. Emmy frowns as if trying to figure out her answer. Well, maybe it's that we do things for the same reasons. Huh? You know, we follow our passions. So you're passionate about running and Rin's passionate about art, is that it? Well, sort of. Let me think. Well, Rin explained it to me once, but I don't know how much of it I've followed. Not surprising. I think any explanation from Rin would probably confuse anyone. She says we both chase after an extreme. Like, she's always trying to find a new way to show a particular feeling or something. And I run because of the feeling I get from it. And since we don't allow ourselves to be slowed down by anything, we make a connection based on that. What do you mean slowed down by anything? Emmy looks surprised and points to her legs. You know, because I'm a runner, and Rin's a painter even without arms, so we respect each other's determination. And that's why we hang out. I think. Well, I'm not sure that made any sense to me, but from Emmy's sheepish expression, she's not so sure about it either. Honestly, it's not something I think about much. We just get along, and I think that's all that really matters. I suppose she's got a point there. Another question strikes me, and since I've got nothing better to do, I ask it. So, what got you into running anyway? Oh, I've been running since I was really little. My dad was a runner, and so as soon as I could walk, he started teaching me how to run. It was our father-daughter thing, you know? Our own mutual hobby. A shadow crosses her face, and I'm shocked to see her looking sad. Did something happen between them? Man, I don't have a lot of time left. Sorry, but I've got to get a few more laps in before I go see the nurse. She races off around the track, hair streaming in the wind. I think it's about every minute that I go in to get a drink, but whatever. It seems to me she's going a lot faster than she was this morning. As she rounds the track, I catch a glimpse of her face. It's much the same as it was this morning, but her eyes seem to have taken on a harder edge. I guess she's right. I don't really know much about her. I watch her run for a little while, and then stand up to head back to my room. Hey! She spots me leaving and waves to catch my attention. Don't forget, same time tomorrow morning, got it? Got it. I head back to my room. Homework beckons. I can't sleep. My body's tired, but my mind is kept awake, staring at the ceiling in the hollow darkness of my room. I grasp desperately for a thread of thought, hoping that I can run my brain into the ground. All I can think of is how I can't think of anything. This is not productive at all. I wonder if this is a side effect of my medication, though it seems odd for it to take so long to show up. Then again, maybe I'm just not as used to my new surroundings as I like to think. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I'm awake and I shouldn't be. This is ridiculous. Ignoring my body's stiffness, I get out of bed and look at my clock. 4 in the morning. Last time I checked it was only 1, so maybe I slept a little. I don't know. I throw on some clothes and head out of my room. A walk might do me some good. I'm surprised at how chill the air is compared to... Oh, that's what that is! Oh, that's my alarm clock. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought that was in the game, and it was just a continuing background noise. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to stop it right here because that's time, guys. So, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like in the video. Be sure to subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Be sure to also follow me on Snapchat as well. All the links, as well as some other links, will be in the description down below. So be sure to check them out. I'm gonna replay 5656, and I'll see you on the next video. Later.